Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Miss Sharon. It's another beautiful Saturday morning here at the Love Wins live forum. How are you today?
Good morning, Rona. I'm good. We are on our tama ba? 17th, 18th week of Love Wins Live Forum. So
Yes.
nakaka-18 18 weeks na tayo. I'm good. Medyo malamig, hindi malamig, but the weather is cooler this morning compared to the other days, no? Um, so maganda. Maganda ang araw ngayon.
Yes. And we have a great morning in store for you, or a great program in store for you, because we have a story of a couple who was not just able to pull off their wedding, okay? Because the past weeks, we've been talking about how can you plan your wedding successfully, how can you do it safely while meeting all these protocols. But today we've invited a couple who did two celebrations in one day, o diba?
One day, oo.
The past weeks, no, hirap na tayo figuring out and helping couples na how are we going to mount your beautiful wedding. And again, of course, we keep saying it's possible, it's doable. But today we're talking to a couple who did their Ting Hun, or their engagement ceremony.
Yes,
Um,
it's the traditional Chinese engagement ceremony. Oo.
Yes, on the same day as their wedding. And syempre
Oo.
naman, tulad ng lahat ng couples that we've spoken to and we've invited here, it wasn't without hitches, it wasn't without challenges, and it was,
Makulay ang story nila.
oo, it wasn't, hindi siya madali sa madaling salita.
Yes,
And we, of
oo.
course, invited also a Ting Hun service planning planner this
Yeah.
morning to talk about how you can also plan your Ting Hun even at this time, and that it's possible and we can still continue to honor the traditions in our family and what's important to our family.
Yes,
Uh,
that's right, Rona, oo. Kasi, malaki ang, Filipino-Chinese community natin. Okay, so, we don't see it in the Filipino family weddings, but in the
yes,
Filipino-Chinese community, milestone event ang engagement ceremony nila, and they call it Ting Hun, 'di ba? So,
yes,
later on we will hear about it from the Ting Hun experts, know what it is all about. So, uh yun nga, there are weddings na ang challenge is really finding a date. I mean, one is to decide na whether to push through with the wedding or not. And then if natamaan sila ng ECQ or MECQ, trying to find a date na available, no, for the wedding. But for the Filipino-Chinese community, meron pa silang isang hurdle. May
yes,
tinghun pa. Okay, so it's actually a very detailed and elaborate ceremony. Kaya kailangan din ng planning nito. And that's why we have a company that specializes in this kind of service, just coordinating the tinghon. So you could just imagine yung dami ng detalye. It's like getting married, no?
quite. Yeah, it's
It's
like practically planning two weddings.
yeah, it's like planning two weddings. Maybe for the Filipino-Chinese community weddings, medyo ito yung intimate version ng wedding nila. Lesser
Yes.
guests, okay, tapos mas marami. Alam naman natin big weddings, ang Filipino-Chinese weddings. So, big weddings yan, pag Chinese weddings. Pero sa Tinghon, it's a smaller scale ng kanilang wedding. But, the works din siya. Detalye,
Yes.
halos parang wedding ceremony. So, yan po ang pinagdaanan ng couple natin this morning. Parang dalawang weddings ang ginawa nila sa isang araw. Yeah.
Yes. So if you have questions, no, if you're planning your tinghon, you're tuned in, or even you're planning your wedding, and there's just that struggle, or there's a balance of how to honor what my parents want or what my future in-laws want. Please send us your questions. We'll answer them here while we're on live. And you can also, of course, share this live stream if you know of a couple who is in the same boat. Alam nyo na ito yung pinagdadaanan nila, this will be helpful to them. Please share the stream to them so that like they can tune in with us. Okay, so without further ado, let us welcome to the Love Wins Live Forum, of course, the newlyweds, Dex
The
and
newly engaged, the newly engaged and newlywed.
yes, and of course, Ting Hun Tris, Camille Ang, and Camille Tan. It's a full house.
Guys, yung mga nanonood, hindi po kami nagkamali. Hindi po kami nagkamali sa paglagay ng pangalan. Talaga pong Camille and Camille po sila pareho. The Camille's.
So good morning to all of you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And thank you for spending your morning with us. Naku, ang dami na namin na kwento about your journey. But of course, walang ibang makakapagkwento ng maganda at mabuti at ng malateleserye na nagdaan hindi kayo, di ba? So, today, I think Dex and Joy have been married 1 month. And happy Mansari. Happy Mansari pa rin ba pag wedding?
1 month na.
1 month, oo. And backstage, they were saying nagbabahay-bahayan po sila ngayon.
Wow.
Araw-araw halos luto.
Masaya yan, di ba? So, Dex
Yun ang masayang part. Bahay-bahayan.
Oo. Dex and Joy, let's start with you. Let's tell us naman briefly. No, I know you're supposed to get married on June, tama ba? The original date of your Ting Hun was
March kami dapat. March.
And then the wedding in June.
Yeah.
So obviously, alam natin lahat, hindi po siya pwedeng mangyari or it wasn't easy because by March, we were already on lockdown. So una na-cancel sa inyo was Ting Hun. And then you realized later on na mukhang pati yung kasal ko.
When in March ba yung Ting Hun?
Sorry.
When in March supposedly yung Ting Hun ninyo?
2 weeks before the 2 weeks after the ECQ.
So March 29.
March 29.
End of March.
Okay, so right
Right
at the peak of our lockdown.
Kasi itong events yung natamaan.
Right at the peak of our lockdown yung nangyari.
Correct.
So your next backup plan for that was ano yung reschedule mo?
Nag-reschedule kami initially ng Ting Hun on end of May, diba?
May 23.
Yeah, May 23. And then, diba kasi, extend yung lockdown. Parang, until end of May.
End of May, ECQ. So,
We had no choice.
Noong una kasi medyo hopeful pa kami na yung June magiging okay na. So, sabi namin, why don't we hold na lang the Ting Hun and the wedding ng original wedding date.
Okay.
So, we were open na in having both events June. The only problem was yung papers namin, yung legal papers namin for the wedding, we weren't able to acquire them on time because of the lockdown also, because the government offices were closed. So we weren't able to get our marriage license on time. So, sabi namin ako, yung end of June, baka sakto-sakto lang. Paano kung hindi pa namin makuha yung license?
Might as well.
Mamamove na naman. Oo. So, sabi namin, sige, we'll just move it na lang to a later date, which is yung August.
Pero tama ba yung tama ba yung information ko for the Chinese weddings, no? Even if you're here in the Philippines, so we consider it a Filipino-Chinese wedding, merong consideration ng dates. When you move it, you cannot just say, sige, move na lang natin next week or
Hindi ganun sa akin Actually, yung August 8 namin was one of the dates na pinagpipilian namin before for the wedding. Kasama siya noon. So, kasama siya with the June 27. It just so happened na we thought na August 8 was too far off So we chose June 27. So yun.
Yeah. So normally kasi in the Chinese community, um, the parents usually, parang they prefer to have the date parang checked by a feng shui master. So parang they're looking for an auspicious date. Eh. So some dates are auspicious, some dates are not auspicious. So usually pinapacheck siya. So last year, yung 2019, that's what happened. We had dates checked for both Ting Hun and wedding. So normally, different dates pa nga yun. You're not supposed to hold pa nga a Ting Hun and a wedding on the same day. Uh, but unfortunately, pandemic happened. We had to adjust.
Oo. Buti na lang
Nag-agree
nag-agree naman
yung
yung parents namin.
Okay,
And
so
I think that's one of the hardest parts, diba, of rescheduling.
Yes.
I'm sure Camille would probably agree, and you've seen this. Na when your couple says we need to reschedule, it's not just a matter of when is the next available date.
Yeah, true. Kasi parang yun nga, at sabi nga ni Dex, diba? So for Filipino Chinese families, important sa kanila yung date. In the same way kami rin, from us, nagkaka-idea na kami ano yung mga good dates. Kasi when people book or inquire, kadalasan common yung mga dates na similar yung mga dates na parang sort na good for the family.
Right.
okay.
So, yun. So we also have to check, one, if it's still available, syempre. And yun, before we can also respond to our couple kung available ba kami for the next date na i-move nila or not.
Okay, so I see. So parang ano rin kayo, as a Ting Hun coordinator, meron kayong parang peak season. So it's like a preferred date. It's a good date for Ting Hun. So may ganun kayong klase, 'di ba? Because you said, Camille, na you have to check your calendar kung available pa kayo kasi nagkakasabay-sabay.
Yes, It is actually, so it's parang medyo yun din naman siya na per family. Nasabi like si Dex and Joy, nagpa-check sila kasi they have to check on yung good date for them. Pero similarly, may mga ibang couple din. Parang hindi lang unique to one person, to one couple. So it can be like, kung ako, nagkakasal ako, pwedeng yung date ni Dex saka yung date ko. Parehas kami, that's a lucky date for us. So tendency ko din bumuko din yung same date na yun, na kung ano sinabi ng feng shui master sa akin na good for us and our family.
Okay. Sige, ang may tanong ako for both Camille's, either one of you can answer. Para lang sa mga viewers natin na, totally different world ang Ting Hun sa kanila, unheard of, di ba? Because in traditional Filipino families, walang Ting Hun. You would probably have an engagement party, but it's not like a Ting
Or
Hun. So,
pamamanhikan.
pamamanhikan. It's pamamanhikan
Although
for the
completely
Filipinos.
different context then.
Ngayon sa Ting Hun, because you're saying it's a good date, what constitutes a good date? Ano yung, alam ko, kung not too much into the details, pero ano yung kino-consider? Do you consider like the birthdays of the couple or yung gano'n? Or kina-check?
For the good date, usually you ask a feng shui master to check, and then it usually consider the birthdays of the couple and the couple's parents. So actually parang it's 6 persons birthdays agad that you have to check. That's why there's not a lot of options also for the couple. So minsan it's very hard for them to change their date. Parang like sa ibang couples, for 1 year, they only have 4 good dates. Minsan may ganon. Like Arcia Dex, diba? After ng June, their next one is August. Meron pa ba kayo July?
Actually, sa amin naman, we had to consider or we had to include pa yata yung siblings.
Oo, kapatid,
Nakafactor in. So medyo nakakatawa at nakaka-stress din kasi
konti na nga lang yung dates to begin with.
Oo.
Tapos sumabawasan palalo.
So Joy's family, 5 sila, tapos kami 4. So tapos nakakatawa, yung signs naming lahat different from each other. So 9 na agad siya out of 12. So super stressed kami na parang, "Shucks, ano ba 'yan? Konti na nga lang yung dates tapos sumunti pa
Babawasan
lalo."
pa talaga.
Kasi nga ano, so
Oh.
we were supposed to have our Tinghun pa nga. One of our choices was last year. But
July ba?
oo, July
July
yata.
2019.
But the feng shui master said na, "Nako, after July 2019, March na yung next available, March 2020." So yun yung
Which
ano,
was the March.
which
Which
was
unfortunately,
na pandemic.
looking back,
So parang, the gap is big. Yung hindi siya
Oo,
every month. And then you want to choose also a weekend event. So
Yeah.
sometimes the feng shui master gives you a weekday, kaso you don't want to do your event naman on a weekday.
True.
It's hard for them to choose a date also.
Actually, interesting yan. Kasi sometimes the best date is actually falls on a weekday. But syempre, us, diba, we want to celebrate with friends and family all together. So, kaya usually kaya push to a weekend. But kadalasan, sa weekday pa nga yung best wedding date. Hindi tingin ka on a calendar. But syempre, since hindi kasama yun, nagiging mas konti yung choices natin. Nagiging weekend lang. That's why fewer dates are left as options for the celebration of the wedding party.
Alright. Ang tanong ko, because, well, obviously, ako yung pinaka-senyora sa inyong lahat. I have, ha? I have, I grew up with Chinese friends. I went to a Chinese school. So, and I've experienced these things during my time, when my friends were getting married. But of course, things were a lot different then. Even yung Tinghun, it had so many details. Pero iba na yung ngayon eh. When you see the photos, when you see some of the videos, nag-level up din siya parang weddings, no? In terms of the decors and stuff. So now, pre-pandemic days, when you say it's a Tinghun party, ano ang typical number of guests that we are looking at?
For the Tinghun, usually most of our guests ngayon, nangyayari, immediate families na nila. So we're looking around mga 20 people, including the couple already. So mas naging intimate din yung mga Tinghun.
Yung now, but bago nag-pandemic, yung original na Tinghun ninyo, Dex, ilan ang invited ninyo?
Parang 150.
150, oo. 'Di ba? Parang wedding na talaga siya.
So it was also good then, di ba, before na, well, this is what I hear from my friends also na they appreciated the gap before between Tinghun and wedding kasi nga, it was all, you were mounting two big things, di ba? One, 150 packs and then another, I don't know, say 300. So parang one hurdle at a time.
Yeah.
But for Dex and Joy, so from March and July, from March and June, na hindi na pwede sa June, it became August. And morning, did you do the Tinghun in the first?
Morning, yung
Yes.
Tinghun was in the morning and then mga 11. So, and then the wedding was at around 1.
Okay. So you were two events to, no? Obviously, for the Tinghun, it's Tris, sila Camille, but you also have another set of suppliers for your wedding, and I'm sure you've also booked them. Paano nyo binalanse siya? So parang two sets of because your wedding coordinator is Christine Ongte, correct?
Correct.
Also a very good friend of this broadcast. O madalas nating Paano nyo manage yung two sets of suppliers inyo? Kasi naisip ko lang, twice the effort pala yan, no? Dalawang set yung kinakausap ninyo.
Yung sa amin, majority, well, paano nga ba? Majority of the suppliers kasi similar lang naman. Like, kunwari, Joyce Dress, same lang naman yung supplier. And then, wala kasi masyadong suppliers sa Tinghun except sina Camille. So, majority of the things that we needed for the Tinghun, sina Camille na yung nag-provide. And then, siguro yung difference lang was videographer. And then initially we didn't get a videographer na. because sa Ting Hun, sabi namin, sige, photos na lang, pwede na. No need na for video. But we decided to get a videographer since this is gonna
May
be
civil wedding din.
may civil wedding after and medyo once in a lifetime lang yata mag-pandemic. So parang maganda yata document.
Oh, I really hope it's once in a lifetime,
Sana nga.
I really hope.
Gusto ko yung ano mo, no? Gusto ko yung outlook mo.
Yes,
Na,
very
once in a
positive.
lifetime magkaka-pandemya habang kinakasal ako, kunan natin.
So
Kasi di ba, other couples
Well, di ba?
with that note, on that note, ano na yun parang nawalan na sila ng gana. Yung sa'yo parang, wow, gusto kong kunan. Kaya, I think more people need to emulate that, that attitude, that outlook, and yung making the most of it. Because I heard that Dex, sabi nila Camille, marami ka raw pakulo nung day of the wedding.
kasi
Sabi namin, mahirap na yung dalawa. Dinagdagan mo pa.
kasi syempre when we found out that our original wedding won't push through, sabi medyo nawalan kami ng konting gana. Siyempre, parang
1 year's worth of planning,
1 year's worth of planning.
was thrown out
And then, medyo na-stress nga talaga si Joy ng gusto. So,
ibang level yun.
I decided na sabi ko, maybe I need to do something so that maging happy din si Joy sa actual wedding day. So, I had some surprises for Joy planned ahead of time. So, yun nga, medyo na-stress din talaga ako nung nag-MECQ ulit. Kasi, lahat ng surprises.
Planchado na yung August 84 sa Conrad.
Supposed to be in Conrad. Then, yun nga, we had to move it back na to our place.
Yeah. Kasi nag-MECQ tayo and the hotels had to shut down again. No? Had to close again.
Before lang ata yun Yung before na August
5 days before na ni isang restaurant, wala din bukas.
We tried asking Conrad if they would consider na baka pwedeng pagbigyan since konti lang naman. But they didn't take out and delivery program. So we really had no choice but to move the entire event index's place.
So, did you help him move to, or parang make a decision and to move it to the house? Did you guys, or did you help with any of the surprises Dex had for Joy? Konchaba ba kayo?
Surprises, actually, it's mostly Dex talaga. So, we help him a bit lang for the schedule, but yung surprises niya is all planned. Even yung music, like, kung when niya papalabas niya surprises niya, to the dot, like sabi niya na, yung music kailangan mag-play sa 1 minute 40, saka lalabas yung surprise. It's very specific. Everything is all Dex. And even the first surprise niya was the ceremony, the civil ceremony setup. Diba? Yung plan to surprise it kay Joy, and then, since nasa bahay, he didn't know what to do, kasi makikita ni Joy. So, parang nasabi na niya kay Joy yun. And then the second was yung best friend of Joy. Diba? That's one of the surprise. So, he said na he wanted to make sure na makapture yun sa video. And then he wanted si Joy umiyak. So, even that part, sabi niya na, I want to write may note ako for Joy, and then abutin mo sa kanya, and then make sure the video is there. Parang lahat planchado na talaga ni Dex. He has an idea on what he wants to do for the surprises.
So, execute na lang kayo. Just helping him na mangyari, no? To help him make it happen.
Yes. Camille, tama ba? Tama ba ang tris for both Camille's in the house? Yung tris, you really focus more on the details of the Ting Hun. Is that what you coordinate, or it's the entire Ting Hun party itself?
So actually for Tris, parang we help you, or Ting Hun planners for the whole day. So aside from yung the preparation, the actual parang kumbaga parang wedding coordinator, but we just focus on Ting Hun. Kasi sabi nga parang Ting Hun in itself na ngayon, it's a big party Normal guests is around 200, 150 to 200 people on a normal Ting Hun event. Diba, umaabot na kami ng mga 400 just for Ting Hun. So, parang we
400?
yes. So, may pre-planning siya. So, all the things that we need to prepare before the day of the event happens, kasama yan sa amin. Then, on the day, we're also with you from the very start, sa umaga pa lang, until matapos yung Ting Hun. Kasi di ba sa Ting Hun maraming mga gifts din. So, we also pack away everything for the couple. Kasi ang gusto namin, parang, syempre busy yung couple, ma-enjoy na yung party. After the party, kumbaga ready to bring home na lahat ng kailangan uwiin ng bride and ng groom. Wala na kayo over. So that's parang where we come in also for the Ting Hun. So it's a pre-planning and the on-the-day execution until matapos yung event. Parang we're waiting for the Ting Hun.
And correct me if I'm wrong, when you say ceremony kasi, talagang may seremonya. Di ba? May traditional ceremony and may mga symbolic elements in a Ting Hun which you actually observe, no? It's para sa non-Filipino Chinese bride and groom. Syempre iba yung pamamanhikan. But ito talaga may ceremony. Yung pamamanhikan is the coming together of two families. Tama ba, Miss Rona?
Yes.
Sorry ha, hindi kasi pasaway kasi akong anak, hindi ako nagpamanhikan.
Ako din! Me too!
So much so that my father, nanonood ba ang tatay ko? Yes, my father is watching. So much so that my father, 2 nights before the wedding, said he will not come to the wedding kasi, ano ba yan? Hindi ako nirespeto. Ganyan. So pasaway ako anak. But, of course, it's a different story altogether. Siyempre, biglang nagka-instant pamamanhikan. So, it's a coming together of two families. But in a Ting Hun, it's not just coming together of two families, but it's really observing an age-old tradition, no, ng mga Chinese. Tama ba?
And I think it's also both sides of the family setting up their children for marriage, di ba? That's why there's the exchanging of gifts. It's really making sure that they can start their new life on a good note, right? So it's a really beautiful tradition if you look at it that way, no? Na talagang to the last moment of your singlehood, kumbaga nga, your parents are still ensuring that you are going to succeed.
Be okay.
Yes, and you will be okay. So at this time, as we mentioned, weddings are already tricky to navigate and to plan. But are Ting Huns still being booked? Are couples still pushing through with their Ting Huns ngayon na pandemic? And what's different with Ting Huns now that while this is our new normal or this is our normal? What do you think is different now that we are going to do Ting Huns with in this situation?
So for the Ting Huns, like you mentioned earlier, na parang aside from honoring the tradition, the Ting Hun also have symbolisms of parang luck, good fortune. It's the assurance of parents. So that's why all our clients naman, they're still doing their Ting Hun. Kasi it's also for the families. They want to make sure that and they're wishing their children fortune and good happy life. Since the Ting Hun itself, during the ceremony, there are symbolisms like fertility and then parang good happy marriage. So you want to wish your children that life. So parang difference now is the Ting Huns, they're usually done at home. So it's smaller, more intimate. But what's nice thing about it is for the families kasi they get to talk more. They get to bond. So parang pamanhikan siya talaga. So after the Ting Hun, you get to talk, eat together. Mas ganon siya.
Saka parang yung na-mention nyo, diba? At least to the viewers na hindi masyado familiar with Ting Hun, parang it's very similar to our Filipino custom of pamamanhikan. Wherein parang the groom's family, like in our case, Dex goes to the bride's house parang to formally ask her hand in marriage. So it's a union, also sa union, sabi nyo, coming together of both families. Sa Ting Hun lang, gaya na bangit kanina, madami kami, aside from the gifts, maraming mga meanings yun. So kumbaga, for example, there are pomelos being prepared, hindi lang basta naisip na ay, pwede bang apple, orange, or iba yung fruit na dalhin natin.
Oh,
Parang
papaya na lang, ganon.
like pomelo. In Chinese, it means to have. So, may meaning siya to have so that the couple will have more
Abundance.
abundance in their life. So, kumbaga, every single gift being prepared in the thing, it has a symbolism, it has a meaning that comes way, way long with tradition. So, yun yung I think one of the important parts ng Tinghon. Yung, it's not just a party. Yung meaning ng bawat item na pinaprepare namin for the couple, it helps them. Yun nga, parang may fertility. Siyempre, naghahanap lagi gusto, maraming anak, may anak.
Ako.
So, lahat ng pwedeng pag minsan diba, lahat ng giveaway sa Tinghon may orange. So, ang daming orange, parang ang daming fertility. Make sure they have enough oranges to, para magka-babies. Tapos they have fertility also. Tapos yung abundance, good life for the family. And check into the newlyweds as well. So yun. And also, of course, yung sabi yung mga gifts ng family deck is to show support also na parang kaya niya eventually to support Joy in whatever since si Joy lalabas sa family niya. Parang he'll be supporting Joy all the way na throughout their life together. Tapos yun nga, different siguro sa mga Tinghon now, yun nga, aside from less number of guests, so it becomes very intimate, around 20 to 40 packs na lang for a bigger family. Most of them celebrates at home na eh. Actually, marami kasi nag-iintay na maging MGCQ. Until mag-MGCQ kasi, parang I think yung ibang venues ng mga hotels, they're not allowed
Pwede na.
to do it until it's MGCQ. So mostly, sa bahay. But ang
Bahay siya.
interesting kasi talaga, ang interesting note ng first Tinghon, ang dami ko ina-add. Di ba kasi ang Tinghon talaga, traditionally, they're celebrated at home.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
So sa bahay talaga siya ginagawa. So now, siguro the beauty of it, we're going back to ano talaga yung ginagawa natin sa tradition. We're doing it at home, intimate lang, the both families, they're able to actually talk to each other, talk about their son and daughter, diba? Kasi ngayon and dati, lumaki na yung Tinghon eh. Naging party sa kanya.
Right.
Sila mag-entertain ng guests instead of it being about the coming together of both
The
families.
families.
So, yun. And siguro yun yung maganda din ngayon. Go back at home. Yun talagang yun talaga yung ginagawa sa atin dati. Pupunta sa bahay, doon natin sineselebrate, pati yung kakain, doon tayo, doon natin lahat ginagawa.
So parang it's like we are going back to the heart of the tradition.
Yes, oo. Actually, naabutan ko yan. Yan ang di ba? Kaya talaga ako yung pinaka-senyora. Yeah, most of my friends really just did it in their homes. So tapos pupunta yung side ng groom. And yung ceremony happens in the home of the bride. And oo. Tapos, syempre ngayon, kaya nga ngayon, like when I see it, parang wow, talagang level up kasi dati wala namang MC, diba? It's really members of the family doing everything together, no? And while it's a good development na meron na tayong Tris, no? A company like Tris to help you with the elements kasi ang dami nga namang elements. And especially kung it's a marriage between, kasi meron din Chinese families na non-traditional na eh. Non-practicing, pero may isang party na very traditional. So it helps if you have a coordinator na alam yung elements that should be put into the Tinghon. Kasi may mga friends din akong gano'n na hindi na traditional yung ka-generation ko. Yun. But the parents are adamant na kailangan may ganito, may ganyan. So, malaking bagay yung coordinator. But yeah, really, in the last 5 years, I think it has evolved tremendously. Sa ballroom na siya ginagawa ng hotel, no? So, yes, naabutan ko yung time na yan. Ayan. Bakit pa ganun, Ron? Nating broadcast natin, talagang di ba, nade-date talaga. Nalalagyan ng date talaga ang ira ko, di ba? Pero, yes.
I was going to say, though, I think it's good to hear that the Tinghons are still being booked at this time, because some people might not, it might be easier for some, maybe younger generations of people getting married na wag na lang. Yung isang tabi mo na lang kasi nga, yung wedding, it's hard enough to plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D, di ba? Parang sawang-sawa na sila to keep adjusting. But
Matawag
but I know of parents kasi na their children are still school aged, but they are already thinking of the tinghon of their kids in the future. So in essence, di ba, yung tinghon that is being practiced today, it wasn't actually just prepared for a year ago. But your parents were preparing for it talagang malamang nung baby ka pa. Di ba? That's normally how
in their heart.
in the
In their heart.
di ba? There's I have friends who think that way already no? Yung kids nila, iniisip nila na, they can pass this on to their kids when the time comes that there's the exchanging of gifts and all of that. So, it's so nice to see traditions still being honored and followed at this time. Kahit na medyo creative nga lang tayo how we're gonna do it. Kahit syempre yung pamamanhikan, di ba, for Filipino families. I'm sure. Ngayon, I think yung pamamanhikan, hindi na nga siya sa house ginagawa lagi, di ba?
Malabas na.
Before, di ba, it was let's eat out. Yeah, parang basta dito na lang tayo sa ganito and let's eat. Ganyan. So,
kaya ako napagalitan, Rona. I'd like to think I was way ahead of my time. I was going sa bahay. Parang sabi ko sa husband ko, di ba, ang ex-boyfriend ko, sabi ko, wag na magpunta ng bahay, mag-ano na lang, let's go out and eat, di ba? Let's pick out a good restaurant.
Yeah.
Ganun na lang. Ayan, napagalitan ako. Kasi hindi na
you had foresight. Tama nga naman, you had foresight.
Yeah, ahead of my time.
But for Dex and Joy, so you planned your tinghun was in the morning and then you had your wedding afterwards. And can you tell us a little bit more about how that day went? Was it sobrang packed? Was it busy? Knowing that you had two things that you had to do.
Paano ba? Well, the day started, I think, around 7.
Ang aga.
Oo. Actually, yeah, tama, 7. I was awake na by around 6 So, accommodate some suppliers. So, started 7 and then halos every hour may dumadating na supplier. So, habang wala pa yata sina Camille at that time, ako yung umaasikaso dun sa mga suppliers. Ingress, egress, so it was everything. I mean, everything was kasi here at home.
Was it in your house or in the house of Joy?
Lex's house.
Our house.
So ikaw talaga gigising ng maaga?
Particularly, yun nga, as you mentioned earlier.
Sa bahay siya ng bride now.
Right. Yeah.
But they live kasi out of town.
Taga-Olonga po talaga ako. Pag dito naman sa Manila, sa Binondo. But then, sa condo kasi yun. So, you can't really have events sa condo right now. Because of that.
And then we can't hold it then in Olonga po because of the restrictions ng government.
Grabe ang challenge grabe ang journey ninyo, ha?
So luckily pumayag naman yung mga parents na wala nang ibang choice. So lang sa bahay. And then we still had the traditional na mga preparations, shots, may mga parang photo shoot, for the bride and the groom. And then, mga around 11, we started na the tinghun ceremony. But, yun nga, actually, I specifically mentioned to the suppliers na they come at this certain time because we were also practicing, of course, safety procedures. Na ayaw namin super daming tao na magsabay-sabay. So, I think yung very first was yung make-up ng parents. And then, nung umalis na siya, yung make-up naman ni Joy. And then, pag okay na, tsaka na pumasok yung parang photos and videographer na 1 or 2 people lang din.
Mhm.
And then
Tsaka
on the other,
hindi siya team, no? Hindi na malaking team, like the photo video. You had 1 or 2? Ganyan lang?
we only had one photographer, and then sa video parang two or three yata. So hindi sila allowed na to be in one area. Like, and then for the for the ingress egress, we held it the day before. In ingress, we held it the day before. For the setup. Kasi yun, mas maraming tao yung kailangan. That's why sabi namin dapat the day before na para hindi siksikan.
Was your Dex and Joy, did you also require the help of your wedding coordinator?
For
Ah,
the documents lang.
Okay, for the documents.
yeah, si Miss Christine, like yung nasa original wedding na coordination, they were the ones who helped us sa documents. And then, I think unfortunately, they also had another event that day. So, ako na talaga nag-ayos nung wedding side of the
Oo. Dex,
araw.
Dex, ano ang line of work mo or business? What do you do?
I helped my dad manage a bakery business. So usually I go out of town.
I see.
And then I also have a coffee shop near
Which
ATM,
is where they met.
which is where we met. So
Wow.
may
So,
may return of investment na po yung binaba kong yung investment ko siya po yung yung
oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yan ang ROI.
Oo.
That's the
Tapos,
best ROI you can get.
Yan yung ROI mo. Tapos alam ko, Dex, magkakaroon ka na ng bagong business.
Oh,
Dahil sa pandemic na to. Pwede ka na mag-wedding coordination business.
pwede na po
yes.
ako mag-help sa mga other couples who are having a hard time.
Oo nga.
Or planning their own weddings also.
Hindi yun joke, ha? Dex, that's not a joke. Dex is really open for your messages. So, if you're tuned in, parang his heart really goes out to couples like them, Because Joy was telling me na you can also message Dex if you need help. So, hindi po kami nagbibiro. Totoo po talaga. Kaya I'm sure it was...
yan. It's because of what Dex went through. As I understand, as I understand, si Dex talaga ang naging driving force to ensure na mangyari ito because he really wanted to give Joy, his bride, joy in her life.
Yeah.
Kasi 'di ba parang ang daling mawalan ng gana 'di ba? To say na, bakit Dex, why didn't you give up? Why didn't you just say na, alam mo, Zoe, hintayin na lang natin matapos ng pandemic, baka magka-vaccine na para hindi na tayo ma-stress. What was your motivation na you really wanted this to happen? 'Di ba? Kasi ang daming changes eh. I mean, hindi lang plan A, hindi lang plan B, hanggang nag-plan C ka na. Diba? So,
Well, gusto na rin naman talaga namin matuloy na by hook or by crook. So, I think, she was really, she was really parang down na eh. Nung nag-ECQ na talaga. So, medyo nagpatong-patong. Pati yun very stressed na din siya. And she, medyo, and she was also out of town, so parang ako
It
na lang.
added to the difficulty in planning. I was in Alonga po, tapos Dex was here planning for the South. Tapos, I think that time, Dex really stepped up his game to really give me the wedding na, give me the best wedding that can ever be sa situation ngayon. He added all the surprises which she realized that I'm really happy to have.
Ayun, saka actually maganda din yung date, kaya ayoko na palampasin. Parang medyo added factor din na yung 8-8, parang maganda siya. 8-8-2020.
Yeah.
And then
Chinese.
I actually promised her then na whatever happens by August 8, we would be. So kahit nag-MECQ, hindi, kailangan matuloy.
Kayo ba, oo, ang mga Camille's ba, na-stress kayo with the changing of the dates, changing of the plans? Na-stress din ba mga team coordinators natin?
Actually, honestly, not so much. But I guess that's our job, so we're used to it. Naman, and we know naman na our stress, if we do get stressed, it won't help the couple. Kasi sila yung mas stress, di ba? So we just try to reassure them that it's okay. Parang everything will go smoothly kahit na very packed yung day. And we understand yung couple, they're stressed kasi they have guests. Diba? They have to explain to their guests that we're gonna change, we're gonna move to this date. So it's really helping the couple, and for us, ano naman, that's no problem.
Nag-ano lang kayo, nag-pivot lang sila from a hotel, lipat lahat sa bahay. Okay. Alam mo, I like what Joy said in the article, no? Joy, you said, a grand wedding, of course, a grand wedding, of course, is a dream wedding because that's, diba, yun yung plan nyo. But it is not necessarily a perfect wedding. We're proud to say that our wedding was a perfect intimate wedding. Diba? I really like that na, no, yung dream wedding natin minsan, it doesn't necessarily mean it's the perfect wedding. Kasi it's really yung grand setup mo, it's really an accommodation ng ano yung gusto ng parents, tapos yung mga taong dapat imbitahin because that's the right thing to do. So it may not necessarily be the perfect one that you would like to have, diba? Pero yan yung dream ng lahat eh. Now, with the intimate wedding, they found it really perfect. Maybe because there were lesser people. They were surrounded by people that really love them and would really want to see them together. Diba? Hindi lang yung nagpunta kasi masarap ang food sa hotel where they will have it. Diba? O balita ko, masarap ang food doon. Mag-RSVP tayo. Diba? Walang ganon. Walang ganon. The people that were there with them on that day were people who were willing to take the risk of going out of their homes. And even the suppliers, no? Because they said nga, every time you go out of your home right now is a risk that you take because there is there's a pandemic out there, no? So the people that were with them that day took the risk of going out just to be with them, to share that special day. So kaya siya perfect, I would suppose. And I really like that message na shinare sa atin ng couple in the article that we featured sa inspirations.ph. Yun.
Actually, I was going to say that I really loved your story because nga of Joy sharing that text was the one who, he felt what was going on, and then he decided na, okay, this is what we're going to do. And it's a preview of Married Life, diba, Miss Sharon?
Yes.
And I have to say that you're off to a great start. Kung ganun yung naging dynamic, diba? Diba? I mean, I'm sure, Camille, I mean, you've seen the different dynamics of couples, diba? Na when one is nahihirapan, baka, parang, diba, sana hindi sabay. So, a lot of times, it's really the bride or the woman who gets easily flustered and minsan walang choice, ikaw pa rin yung mag-aayos. But it's great to hear that Dex, when he saw that there was something that needed to be done, he failed it. And he didn't just, hindi lang niya, diba, he didn't just execute it. Nagdagdag pa nga siya ng surprise, diba? He did all of these other things to
Yes.
keep it up. So, talaga, no? Dex, how to be you po.
That's a gift, di ba, Rona? I mean, that's really a gift. It's for me, I always, kami ng husband ko when we talk, no, parang we realize it's really the little things that you do for each other. It's really that yung kwento nga nila Camille. It's really that surprise that will happen at 1:45. ng, ng soundtrack, ng music na, o yan, kailangan. Ang liit na detalye. Ang liit na detalye. But kay Dex, he paid attention to that because he knew that that precise moment, maiiyak si Joy sa tuwa, diba? Yung ganon, it will bring her so much happiness. It's the little thing that little things in the marriage that will eventually count. It's not the grand gesture. So that's a gift. And then later on in life, when times get, I will tell you, hindi ito ang pandemic ang pinaka-super challenge yung dadaanan. From somebody who's been married for 23 years, later on in life, there will be tougher times. Go back to that day, go back to that period, itong season na to. And, parang yun kayo. Diba? That's who you are, Dex. Diba? And that's a gift.
Very, very OC ako when it comes to mga events o actually to mga planning stuff. And yun nga. So dahil sa pagka-OC ko, yun yung ginawa kong pangalan ng new business.
Yung bagong business.
Yung flat screen yung number na ba?
The OC Planner. The OC Planner. So parang POP, top. So parang
diba?
The OC Planner.
Diba? Oo.
Tapos incident, nakakatawa, yung OC, parang last name ko and last name. So Ong and Ko.
That's true.
So is this Dex, ito bang ino-offer mo would be targeted to the grooms? Or?
Actually. Kasi parang konti lang yata yung groom na
Hands-on.
very hands-on.
Yeah. Hands-on to itong si Excel. Grabe. If you see his Excel sheet, pati yung mga budget naka-input, yung mga dates of life available, siya lahat nag-ayos.
So,
diba? Ang haba ng hair ni Joy. Ang haba ng hair. Haba ni Joy. Okay, I will just go to my wedding. Ganyan.
Sarap.
Actually, sinabi ko din yung sa kanya nung medyo nag-MECQ na talaga. Sabi ko, di ba rin okay lang, ako na bahala. Attend ka na lang.
Invited ka naman kasi.
Totoo yun.
Oo. Nakakatuwa kasi 'di ba now you can I'm sure 'di ba Joy ang bigat ng dala-dala mo but now you can actually joke about it and laugh about it, 'di ba? So was it worth it, Dex and Joy? Everything that you went through?
Yeah, actually sobrang worth it. I can say na sa sobrang worth it, parang mga 10 to 15 minutes ata kami umiiyak sa vows namin.
Oh.
We just really wanted to get married. Yun lang yun. Parang all the grand stuff doesn't matter. I mean, it's really back to the basics. But yung pinaka-importante, yung partner mo, yung family mo, nandyan, that's it. So, the blessings of our families is it.
Actually, yeah. After that day, parang na-realize ko din na hindi talaga kailangan ng super
Bonggang wedding
na gusto ng lahat. Well, yun nga. Marami talaga may gusto ng your friends. All your friends will be there. Maraming guests. But yun nga, in reality, kailangan mo lang talaga is your partner mo, family mo, and maybe some close friends. Very close to you. Very close talaga. So sa kanya, yung best friend niya, kahit super duper wala siyang time, but medyo kinausap ko, sabi ko, please, punta ka. So nanggaling din siyang Olongapo.
Wow. Yeah. Wow, diba? Talagang people that really mattered really went out of their way to be with you guys. So that's, 'di ba? Ang ganda. Yan naman yung ganda na dinulot ng pandemic, 'di ba? So yes, at this time people realize na you go back to the core of But of course, syempre, 'di ba? Wag naman we really hope to get back that the world will become a better place kasi mawawalan na ng trabaho lahat ng event supplier. Oo.
Si Dex magsisimula pa lang siya eh.
Oo,
So,
magsisimula siya.
so he's pro setting up your wedding. But from Camille, thank you Camille for joining us this morning. Any last tips you can share for couples who are planning their tinghon during the pandemic? And invite na rin our viewers to how they can book you or how they can find out more about your services.
Sino ba? Kayo
Ikaw na.
So, to the couples na nag-iisip kayo kung gagawin yung by tinghon nyo or hindi, yun nga, parang important this pandemic, I think what we learned is we look at it glass half full, di ba? That parang this one, it's really a celebration of the two of you and your future husband together. And parang, since hindi dahil mas intimate siya, naging mas malungkot. Actually, if you look at it the other way, dahil mas intimate siya, sino yung nakasabi na Dex and Joy, sino yung nagmamatter? Yung mga na-realize natin ng pandemic, yung mga nagmamatter is all you have your family, your partner, and your few close friends with you. They're already enough. You don't need the whole grand party for it, diba? So, sa mga tinghons nyo, ganun din, parang, it's really, we go back to the heart of the tradition na it's the coming together of two families, diba? So, yun yung important, na yung family mo at yung family ng partner mo, we come together with the celebration and we do that, we celebrate the tradition of doing the tinghon para to make sure na you guys are ready at nagawa ng parents mo lahat ng gusto at naibigay sa inyo yung dapat bago kayo ikasal. So, and for on any of your tinghon needs, we're just here for you, Tinghon Tris. So, you can catch us at Instagram. It's Tinghon Tris. Or you can email us at trisinquiries@gmail.com. So, lahat ng kailangan niyo for the tinghon, the planning, we're here. Regardless kung sa bahay man tayo mag-celebrate the tinghon nyo or eventually outside of your home, we can do it for you. So, just message us kasi ang goal naman namin is to be to help you get through with your event and this pandemic together. And syempre, lahat tayo, importante, masaya. We still celebrate the true meaning of itong celebration of getting engaged and getting married together with your partner. So, yun.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Siguro,
Saka huwag kayong matakot si Dex and Joy nga nagawa lang mag-tinghon and wedding in one day. So,
Yes, oo.
it's doable. We can do it together. Siyempre, yun yung keyword, together. It's a teamwork talaga for both the suppliers and of course,
well, first of all, I would like to thank Camille, and si Mapes of Ting Hun Wedding. They really help us when it comes to the Ting Hun. And actually, pati doon sa wedding side, parang I asked the help of Camille. So, thank you. And of course, to our suppliers who really made an effort to go to our wedding. And siguro yung tips lang to all the couples, yun nga, huwag matakot. I mean, tuloy nyo lang, no? Basta just do all the safety procedures or protocols na kailangan. So, wearing a face mask, face shield kung may dagdag, and then make sure to disinfect lang the premises or the venue before and after. Then kami may added, parang we added air purifier para mas malinis talaga. And then to couples who need help, you can always message us or sa akin email nyo na lang ako yun. So d430@gmail. Oo. And then,
Ano ulit ang email, Dex? If they really want to email you.
So, DEX430. So, yung pangalan ko na DEX. And then, yung 430 is my birthday.
At gmail.com.
So far kasi wala pang email address ng aking new business. But we have
Yun yung gagawin mo after ng live stream, di ba?
Pagkatapos, gagawin niya na.
We have registered our name na sa DTI.
Wow!
Oh, okay. So,
Welcome.
Baka we invite you back here to our live stream pag mas marami ka pang nagawang weddings. as wedding coordinator na yung ano mo, as yung hat mo.
Meron na po ako isa.
Welcome to the events family.
Wow.
Welcome to
Okay,
the
isa na
events
daw
family.
siya. May isa na
Oo.
daw siya. Thank
So
you so
alam
much.
na, oo. Alam na natin ha. I mean, it's a first. Nangyari na ba to? Ting Hun Tris? I think it's the first, no? Ting Hun and wedding in one. No? I think. First time? Parang. Okay,
We
so
had na rin. Yes, we have na rin before. And then si Dex, actually Dex was supposed to be the first. Pero since na-move siya ng date, so the second one became the first one. Nauna siya kay Dex. But
okay.
Dex
Pero
was
first
really
pa rin.
supposed to be our first one.
Okay. So yan,
And
Dex
then-
and Joy, I think you'll be starting a trend.
Oo, pwede. So, Ting Hun side sina Tris, tapos kami na yung intimate wedding side.
Yes.
So, meron ng kasunod, Camille, na ganito ulit ang setup. Ting Hun and wedding in one.
Actually, yes.
Yes,
Dumadami
yes.
na sila. Yes, they're
Oh.
considering it. Kasi most of them also will be doing it on their wedding day. So parang they're moving their wedding day, the big one, and then they're doing civil and Ting Hun at the same time. So yes, it's a trend, and then dumadami na rin talaga this one. Kasi they want the date, and it's very important to them. And again, like you mentioned earlier, it's more about the couple themselves talaga and celebrating it with their families. So they want to get married na rin talaga.
Yan. Sige, please share naman yung mga susunod yung couple. Share with si Miss Rona. PM
Yes.
us. Oo,
Sure.
para we can, we'd love to share their stories to others, no, na still stuck, na hindi pa rin alam anong gagawin. And hopefully inspire them na parang maging Dex and Joy. Tingnan mo, ang mas happy na sila, kasal na sila, may bagong business pa. Oh,
Sana po.
I suppose it was really an auspicious date.
Yes. Lucky
It was
day talaga
really
yung
an auspicious date. Kasi,
Ah,
may new business ka pa, di ba? Galing.
Oo. At dapat
Wow,
pala yung email mo, Dex, may 88.
Oo nga.
at may client na siya, di ba? May one
Correct.
client. Meron na siya, meron na. Oh,
Galing.
diba?
Alright, so thank you again.
Congratulations to Ting Hun Tris for pulling a great event, diba? A great Ting Hun and intimate wedding celebration, and congratulations and best wishes to Dex and Joy as they start their new life together and their new business. Dex, yung new business ni Dex. Congratulations and best wishes sa inyo.
Thank you for accommodating us also.
Thank you for having us.
Our pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. So we'll see you again, and thank you for guesting at the Love Wins Live Forum.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
you. Thank you so much.
Ang galing, no? That they set a trend without knowing
Yes.
that it would be a trend. I mean, it was just
Oo.
really them wanting to get married, and it was just going with the flow and going with and taking all the curveballs that life or pandemic was giving them. I really have to say that Dex's outlook was so inspiring to me to hear that it's once in a lifetime. Ngayon lang to mangyayari. Although I think I heard this from Tito Bernie. I think pasamba na ngayon
Yes.
lang to, di ba? So let's document it. It was such a positive way to look at our situation, and we hope that as you are watching our live stream every Saturday and you are joining us, of course, thank you, and we hope that this is something that you can also keep in mind while you are planning your wedding, that love will win, your love will win. Love is immune, ika nga nila, tuloy ang kasal, and themes and motives, of course, and inspirations.ph will always be here for you to help you plan and execute your dream wedding.
Yes, oo. Napakaganda ng nangyari kay Dex and Joy, no? And they They did it not because yung may intention sila to start a trend. uh, it was out of the love they have for each other, and especially si Dex when he saw how emotionally affected Joy was. He just wanted to give her the most beautiful wedding possible, 'di ba? Na literal nga na sinabi niya nung nag-MECQ ulit at na-down ulit si Joy, sabi niya, "Ako nang bahala, mag-attend ka na
Punta ka
lang.
na lang. Yeah.
Punta ka na lang, 'di ba? Punta ka na lang." Okay, so it is really that desire, no, to please the one that they love. Kaya nagkaroon ng ganito, and wow, what a blessing because others are also doing the same thing, 'di ba? Mayroon na tayong mga top wedding pandemic trends ngayon. Isa ito sa mga changes na nangyari sa wedding scenario in the pandemic. At Rona, I wanna share, no, isa pang trend, isa pang nabago ng pandemic is the way we plan our weddings.
That's true.
Yes, traditionally, this is the month of September. Themes and Motives is known to have an on-ground bridal fair, Wedding Expo Philippines, that happens twice a year yan, March and September. And it's a one-stop shop for all your wedding needs. But because there is a pandemic, alam po nating we should stay away from crowded places. Okay, so as much as we would want to do the exhibit for you physically, hindi po natin siya gagawin. And because you cannot go to an exhibit convention center, we are bringing, Themes and Motives will bring Wedding Expo Philippines right into your home. So Wedding Expo Philippines is now an online bridal fair. And kung dati po, 2 days lang ang event, um, 2 weeks pong tatakbo. It will run from September 16 to 30. Okay, meron po kaming bridal marketplace, and that's where you will find all the suppliers that are exhibiting po sa Wedding Expo Philippines online bridal fair. And we have a special weekend, September 26 and 27. We call it the Exhibitors Live, where we will be broadcasting live para po sa meet and greet natin ng mga exhibitors. So makita niyo po sino po yung mga kasali and what they have to offer to you. So just go to our website. Yan po, nasa baba po siya, www.themesandmotives.com, and click on the banner of Wedding Expo Philippines Online Bridal Fair. Sa lahat po na magre-register na couples, you are automatically qualified sa raffle namin. No purchase required. Just register for the event, online event, and we have prizes waiting for you. We will be raffling off 3 bridal bouquets made by Teddy Manuel, our official event stylist, 3 prenup photo shoot sessions at the Concept Room Studio by Nice Print Photography. And we will have 5 sets, so 5 winners po of the Endless Treasures array coins, heirloom set po yan from Golden Hills Jewelry. And last would be a 5,000 pesos cash prize from Themes and Motives. No purchase required. Just register for the event. Go to our website, www.themesandmotives.com. Nasa baba po siya. And click on ito pong banner na nakikita nyo sa screen, Wedding Expo Philippines Online Bridal Fair. So that's gonna start 12 midnight. Bukas na po ang bridal marketplace on September 16. At ang kagandahan, Rona, ito ang trend. 24/7 na for 2 weeks.
Yes.
Bridal fair. Okay,
so if you were like Joy, no, na she was in Olongapo and Dex was here in Manila, it's still so easy and still so doable for you guys to plan your wedding together because all you need is a connection and maybe a device, whether it be your phone or your laptop. You're still able to do all of your wedding planning and also vet and see yung mga suppliers na sure kayo dadating po and are registered businesses, of course, and have such a wealth of experience just in the wedding industry.
That's
So
true, Rona. Oo.
don't forget themesandmotives.com for the Wedding Expo Philippines starting September 16.
16, oo. At pahabol ko lang, if you're planning to get married for the remaining months of the year, 2020, or na-settle nyo na 2021 kayong ikakasal, or maybe 2022, this is the best time to book because ang ganda po ng mga packages. This will not happen again. Parang pandemic po, this will not happen again. Ang mga suppliers po natin are giving generous discounts as much as 50% off. You can get as much as 50% off from our exhibitor. So iba-iba yung mga packages nila, but the biggest I've seen so far is a 50% discount on their products. So this is the best time to book, and most of the rates, most of the suppliers are extending this until the end of 2021. So kahit hindi ngayon ikakasal, you can book already for 2021. So go to www.themesandmotives.com, click on the Wedding Expo Philippines banner and register and enjoy 2 weeks of planning. Oh, parang si Joy, nasa Olonga po, or out of the country talaga kayo.
Also, yeah, oo.
You know, you cannot come home and plan together kasi you cannot catch a flight to go back home. You can do it online now. Diba? May online bridal fair na.
Yes.
Yeah.
So before I say goodbye, let me also plug that if you are engaged, or you have just gotten engaged, or you are proposing to your girlfriend, we'd love to feature you. Please send your proposals to us on inspirations.ph or the Themes and Motives Facebook page so that we can feature your story just like we did with Dex and Joy. So next week we have it's an interesting morning again next week. No, we're gonna be talking to a wedding supplier who got married. And so, syempre, he's already somebody who does weddings in and out before the pandemic. And yung mismong wedding niya was caught in the pandemic. And so, how did he choose sino yung part ng wedding niya? Syempre, for people like us who are not working in the wedding industry, it's a little challenging to know what are the things you should keep or what are your priorities. But we'll be able to talk to somebody next week who had quite an interesting choice of wedding suppliers that he made sure to have at his wedding and how they stayed safe.
Yes. So we'll see you guys next week. Thank you for choosing to spend your Saturday morning with Miss Rona and myself. And we hope to have you again next Saturday.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.